All right, and we are live with the Friday night block party. So I'll wait for some people to show up in here before we get started with too much stuff. Not sure who else is coming on the show tonight. I did send out some invites to some people, so hopefully some gentlewomen will be on here in a little bit. But to get things started, hopefully everybody is having a pretty good week so far. Of course, we are going into the weekend now, and I know last week was the 4th of July, which was a lot more exciting because, fireworks and food and all that good stuff and the 3-day weekend. So now we don't have a 3-day weekend, but it's still Friday. So we have quite a few things to be happy about. Now, if you can see on the topic for this week, I did put that we're going to be talking about the Saturday night tech fight. And I'm going to get to that here in a minute. Hopefully Tech King Mike is going to make it by here in a little bit as well. So I don't know if he's going to be able to get on the video tonight, but he definitely will be here in the conversation. And of course, Greggles TV already sending out. What's the topic? Well, the topic today is mostly going to be talking about the Saturday night tech fight, which season 2 is going to be tomorrow night. So if you are uninitiated on what Saturday night tech fight is, you're going to learn about that tonight. And also, it's open to anybody. So I saw a tweet that Tech King Mike, he's the one that hosted, he's the one that created the Saturday night tech fight. It's his baby, and he's the one that's grown it into what it is today. So we've got some sponsorship stuff going on with this one with Mr. Burton and the Popcorn World doing the World of Flavor. So as far as I know, he's going to be putting up, I think like 60 sample bags of popcorn for whoever wins. And also there's talk about some sort of a dollar incentive for the amount of viewers that show up. And then possibly even a Sony, I think ZV-1 camera for the winner if we get enough people in there. So if you're not planning on watching tonight, I'm going to drop this here in the chat. I'm going to go find the link in a minute. But definitely put some time on your schedule to go watch it tomorrow because I believe it's going to be at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is a good time. I mean, it's right after dinner, right before, you get ready to settle in for the evening, but you still have a little bit of that excitement left in you so you can, participate, hang out in the comments, or even come on the show and do it and see if you can be the winner. So let me put this live, and I'm going to go find the link to his. What's this over Greggles? Best BlackBerry phone to get right now? Well, almost all BlackBerries right now are less than $500. But if you really, really, really want to go buy one and you can find one, then I would say pick up a BlackBerry Key 2, which is the most bestest. Which is great because, it runs Android 8.1. You've got the fancy keyboard with the touch-sensitive capacitive layer on it, so you can move it around like an extension of the screen. You got the convenience key on the side. You've got the two 12-megapixel cameras on the back, and it's still got a lot of life left in the tank with that Snapdragon 660. So BlackBerry Key 2 is the best for you. And, so we have Juan Bagnell over here. He is going to be on there tomorrow night. And I'm not sure, maybe you can say, my initial impression was that he was going to be one of the contestants, but I think he may be one of the judges, which would be pretty darn fancy because some gadget guy, Juan Carlos Bagnell, is one of the best in the business. He is one heck of a when they talk about like football players, you talk about like a football IQ. Those guys, they're rated on basically their intelligence level when it comes to football, reading things that are going on in the game and stuff like that. Juan Bagnell has probably just about the highest phone IQ in the business. So you're not going to be able to sneak anything past him. It's not going to be like Scott Peachy where you can say something and it might go over his faux hawk. This one's not, you're not going to get it by Mr. Bagnell when it comes to the judging. And I say this now because, of course, Scott's in the comments, so he can see that and silently hate me. But either way, it's going to be a really, really good time. I'm really, really looking forward to it. And, it's going to be brutal. I plan on being on the show myself tomorrow. I don't really plan on winning. I'm going to do my best to win. But as far as winning goes, it's very difficult. So I'm sure a lot of people here in the chat already know about the Saturday Night Tech Fight, but basically, this is season 2. So season 1 ended a couple of weeks ago, and Tech King Mike decided we're going to take a break. We're going to pause X for a little bit, and he's going to put some stuff into it. So production value is supposed to be going up a little bit better with the questions, a little bit more structure to it, and things are getting a little fancy over there. And of course, now there are real world prizes that you can win. So before, it was like mostly just bragging rights. And bragging rights are cool. I mean, who doesn't want bragging rights? I mean, you're in the tech community. You're out there. You got some big people. I mean, you had Andrew Edwards on there. Greg's Gadgets on there. I mean, you had Canoopsy on there, who was just bashing tech heads all over the place. He took me out. So there are some big name people that come onto this show. So just the fact that, Joe Technology Guy, on the street, or, Sam Technology Guy on the street, I'm just whoever, Sam Doe, John Doe, whatever you want to call them, they can come on the show and put their 2 cents in and go head to head with somebody else. That's kind of a big deal. And that's how I got into it. I mean, I knew that Tech King Mike had been doing it for a while. And I was out because I would listen. I'd put my earbuds in and go out and walk around the block in the evening. And normally he used to do it just exclusively like a 1-versus-1 thing. So like 2 people go at it for an hour, a bunch of different questions. You've got the judges there and stuff. And now he's doing this battle royale concept, because who doesn't like battle royale? I mean, it kind of changed the game for things. I mean, you look at Fortnite, you look at Call of Duty Warzone, you look at Apex Legends. In the gaming community, battle royale is the new thing over the last couple of years. So it's migrated its way over to Saturday Night Tech Fight. So the way this works, you get one person that starts off as the person to beat, and you got to go 10 rounds. Whoever, I guess, wins at the end. I think there was kind of a concept before, maybe, where if whoever won the most, I guess. But yeah, Tetris 99. Tetris 99 is great. That is a fun game if you haven't played it on your Nintendo Switch. Basically, you start off and there's 99 different players, and as it goes and goes, the time dwindles down. It gets harder and harder, and then whoever's left. I've made it in the top 10 quite a few times, but I've never taken the prize on Tetris 99. Just like I've never taken the prize on Saturday Night Tech Fight. But anyway, one person starts off. You have somebody come on. There will be a question, and the person who is defending, which is the person that's already there, typically gets to pick which side of the argument they want. So let's just say, for instance, we're talking about, all right, which is better, Android or iPhone? I mean, hopefully that's not a question, because that's just, so much that you would have to talk about in the 90 seconds that you get. But the person defending would get to choose which side of the argument. They make their side of the argument, and then the other person goes, and then the judges decide who wins. If the person that's defending wins, they stay and they go on to the next round. Or if the newcomer wins, then they go on to the next round. So the goal is to be the last man standing at the end. And it's really exciting. And it's one of those things that you don't necessarily have to be a, huge tech enthusiast. I mean, it could just be something you natively know, about electronic stuff. I mean, yeah, it could be which is better, a smartphone camera or a DSLR camera. Or it could be something like, do we need the function key row on the Magic Keyboard or something like that? Or there's just a lot of things out there. And some of them are more complex. Some of them require a little bit more knowledge. But at the end of the day, it's really exciting. It's really fun. The people are going in the comments. You're sitting there. I mean, it's live. There's a lot of people watching. And we're trying to get a whole lot of people on there tomorrow. Because I think what they're saying is if we can get, it's either 700 or 800. Maybe somebody can fill me in over there. I can't remember the number. It's one of those two. If we can get 700 or 800 people in there live watching tomorrow, then there's going to be a prize for that Sony ZV-1 camera, which is really cool. And if you're a content creator, or if you're an aspiring content creator, this ZV-1 is finally, it's like a camera that was built from the ground up for content creators. It's great for B-roll. It's great for talking head stuff. It's great for just being able to take some video clips of things that you're reviewing, and for vlogging. It's fantastic. And supposedly it's really lightweight, and it has that articulating screen on it as well. So there's a lot of really cool things going for it. And then the popcorn. So here's the thing, Popcorn World, Mr. LeBaron, he is the popcorn king. And of course, he was one of the judges this last season. I'm assuming he's going to come back with his popcorn since he was the one sponsoring it. And like I said, I believe it's 60 bags. And I ended up getting a consolation prize. And it's basically like, I like to call it designer popcorn. It's gourmet popcorn, but there's so many different flavors. There's like key lime pie, there's Captain Crunch, there's Rice Krispie treats. You can sound off in the comments if you have a particular favorite whenever it comes to the different flavors of popcorn, but the stuff is legit. So he'll send it to you to your house and you get to pick whichever one that you want. You go out to the website and pick the ones that you want. And I'm trying to remember what the website name is. It might be Doing the World of Flavor. I think it's just Popcorn World. Popcorn World, Doing the World of Flavor. I'll put this down in the drop down so people can see it. And a lot of people have varying opinions. And it's funny because Andrew Edwards, he'd been, I believe, a champion before on a previous Saturday Night Tech Fight, but he was inspired to come back to the show so he could win some popcorn. So don't sleep on the popcorn. The popcorn, if you like it, then this stuff is going to rock your world. Yeah, banana cream pie, white cheddar. There's so many different flavors. It's ridiculous. I'll read some of these flavors off. Like I said, we got quite a few of them for my family. There's caramel flavors, kettle corn and butter flavors, cheese flavors, gourmet flavors, and candied flavors. So gourmet flavors, banana pudding, birthday cake, blackberry cream cheese cobbler. Is there anywhere else in the world you can get a popcorn flavored in blackberry cream cheese cobbler? Captain Crunch might be my particular favorite. Butterfinger, you name it. And they taste really, really good. So that right there, if that's not incentive enough, if you don't want to have that tech title and you just want some popcorn, every man or woman has their incentive, but that's a pretty good one, I think, right there. So I'm really looking forward to the questions tomorrow. I'm looking forward to the excitement. Yes, so Juan down here says dill pickle is really good too. And if you like dill pickle, you're probably going to like the dill pickle flavored popcorn. So it's going to get started. Let me see if I can find the link here real quick for Saturday Night Tech Fight. And I will post it so y'all can set a reminder. YouTube. Trying to multitask and do multiple things all at once. So Saturday Night Tech Fight. Here we go. We'll go ahead and share this. All right, so everybody, if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and click on that link and go set yourself a reminder. So yeah, like I was saying, anybody can go on there. It's not just like, me. You don't even have to have a YouTube channel. There is no requirement, to go ahead and go do that. You just have to send a message to Tech King Mike, and he'll put you on the list so you can get on there if there are still some open slots. And like I said, there were some earlier, which is really cool. Now, like I was saying, I was walking around the block, and it was the first night that Greg was on there, Greg's Gadgets, and he had gone on to Viper's live show, Vibe Drive. He does it every Friday night, and he told the whole world that he was going to run the table and he was going to win. And he almost did. He did kind of end up winning at the end, but that was, there was some other stuff, some sudden death stuff that went on at the end, but it was still interesting. Hey, Dom, welcome. So he got like 60 bags of popcorn. And when I heard him on there with the other people going back and forth with the questions, like I said, I was out walking around the block. I was listening to it. And then Tech King Mike was like, yeah, anybody else wants to come on, go ahead and send me a message. So I was like, shoot, anybody can do this. So I went and I scurried right back home, got on my computer, threw on a presentable t-shirt and I hopped on there and I tried my best. Greg did beat me the first time. He did beat me on the second question when he came back for a different round. But the following week, I took him out the first round. So, and then I lost on the second round. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's fun and it's exciting. And even if you don't necessarily go all the way to the end and win, and if you want to listen to some people, they say just kind of hang around to the end and see if you can win it all. There might be something to that formula. But what I like to do is I like to try and play as many rounds as possible. Now, you may only get to do one, or if people like you and want you to come back and do a second one, if there's like a sudden death thing at the end, that might be something where you can do a second one later on. But it was really exciting, and especially this last go around. Oh, hey, Harmless Carl. And here, before we go any farther talking about Saturday Night Tech Fights, I do want to take a second here to say congratulations to my man, Harmless Carl. He's got a new addition to the family. I believe just had a baby boy yesterday. His wife, not him. He was, he had to save up he had to sell a lot of ice cream to pay for the hospital bills for this baby. So everybody who's hanging around, wish Harmless Carl all the best and congratulations on the new addition to the family. And also, I'm going to, let me see. Maybe Carl wants to come on here for a minute. Carl, you want to come on here for a minute or what? Or are you just watching? That baby is crying all the time. Yes, that is one thing that babies are good at. Babies are good at crying. I know, because my wife and I had a whole bunch of children, and I've experienced that firsthand. And if anybody wants to come on the show, let me know, and you can come on here and we can talk as well instead of just hanging out in the comments. So if you'd like, let me see here. Invite, copy to clipboard. There we go. So I've got that posted down in the chat now. So if you want to hop on, then go ahead and click that link and you can come on and talk as well. But some of the fun stuff that goes into the Saturday Night Tech Fight, I think maybe it'll be a little bit better as we get more into the season. Because last go around, it was like the season finale. It was big. Like we knew Andrew Edwards was coming in. We knew Greg's Gadgets was going to be there. We knew Canupsi was coming in. There was a lot of trash talk. And it reminded me a whole lot of like the old WWF, WWE stuff whenever I was growing up. And, on Saturday morning, you wake up, you see Mean Gene, you got Hulk Hogan, you've got Macho Man Randy Savage. There's a lot of that trash talk stuff that was going on. So there were memes that were made. There were some of the video clips that were made. There was a lot of stuff that went into building up the hype for Saturday Night Tech Fight for the very last season finale. And it was really exciting. It was something that was fun to be a part of. And I think that it's going to be even more. I think we're going to build some of that energy on day one of season 2. And now we're going to have seasons. So I think what Tech King Mike said is going to be something like maybe 8 weeks or something and take like 3 weeks off. It's not going to be every single week. It's going to kind of cycle on and off. So I don't know who the mystery guest, I don't know who's starting it off tomorrow, but I'm sure that it's going to be exciting. Maybe he said that somewhere, but I think that, I don't know if I want to go first this time. I think maybe I might want to watch a few rounds because it's fun, being there for the first one. But, if you win, then you got to try and defend against everybody. And then if you don't win, then you're out. And then you have to watch everybody. Maybe I might try and go like third or fourth, or maybe I will talk. Maybe I will lead off. Maybe I'll talk to Mike. Be like, you know what? Put me in first, coach. I mean, I may lose. I may very well lose. I got to look and see what I want for a background. So this right here, you see that the shadow, I have this is for my green screen setup, which I'm not using right now. But you better believe that I'm going to do my green screen for tomorrow. And I can't decide what I want to do. I did a Street Fighter 2. I used the background for Guile for the last go around. So maybe I'll do that again. I mean, it seemed like it worked out all right. Or maybe I'll pick another one. I don't know. Y'all can give me some suggestions down there in the comments if you can think of something good. But I need something big for tomorrow. Jason C., welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Yes, things are very good. Not only is it a Friday night, but we're on the eve of Saturday Night Tech Fight. Drew as well. Glad all you guys could come in here and make it tonight. So, yeah, last week I was able to finagle some people. I didn't ask as many people to try and start off tonight just because mostly I wanted to talk about the Tech Fight stuff that's going on. Last week we talked a little bit about barbecue. We talked about favorite hamburgers. We talked about favorite fast food joints. And that's one of the things that I wanted to do with this. So with the whole Friday night block party concept is really kind of geared towards getting the tech community together. But what we can do is hop on here and we can talk. We can have conversations about normal things, de-stress, unwind, and just have some good chats. It's one thing like, Dan and I do our show on Wednesday night, or people like Viper, who does his show all the time and interviews people. It's one thing when we're talking with people all the time and it's tech related, because of course that's what we do. But this gives an opportunity for people in the tech space to come and just visit and hang out. And best hot dog and go. I'm going to have to say, I think I like Hebrew Nationals the best. Now, y'all can sound off in the comments with what you think your favorite hot dog is. There's Ballpark, there's Nathan's, there's Hebrew National, there's Oscar Mayer. Oscar Mayer does have the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. That's kind of go big or go home in the hot dog world. So, but yes, I think the Hebrew National ones are my favorite. The only thing that frustrates me about them is it doesn't come with 8 in a package. It comes with 7. It might even come with 6 now, which they're good. They're super delicious, but having a large family like I do, typically I just buy the Ballpark all-length buns, all beef bun-length ones. So that way I have, 8 of them to match the 8 buns. Spaceship Lab green screen with sound on YouTube. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I'd really like to check out and see if there's a way I can do like something with like a GIF. I don't know if you can do things with like animated backgrounds on Streamlabs, maybe on OBS, but not so much on Streamlabs, maybe. And yeah, so over here talking about the Beyond Meat ones. I've tried Beyond Meat hamburgers, and I gotta say, they're pretty good. It gave me terrible heartburn. I think it's just because of all the grease and stuff from Burger King. And the funny thing is, if you go to Burger King and get one of these Beyond Beef burgers, I don't think they're actually very much more healthy for you than the beef ones. It's just that they're vegetarian. I don't even know if it's vegan. I think it's just vegetarian. Maybe it's vegan. I don't know. I'm not that up to speed whenever it comes to that stuff, but apparently they have sausage or some sort of hot dog as well. But yes, definitely Hebrew Nationals are my favorite. Yeah, that Impossible one I've tried. It's pretty good. So yeah, and that's, like I said, this is kind of what I wanted to do with this space. Typically it works better when you have more people to talk to, but the idea is to have a place to come and talk, hang out, because we can't really do that anymore out in the real world with this whole, coronavirus thing, and we can't go out, we can't hang out, we don't have all the different meetups and stuff to go to. So to create a place where people can come and we can, just talk about normal stuff and hang out, I think it is something that is nice, because being able to have social interaction and also be able to talk with people in the community is a nice thing, especially since we can't do it anymore. I talk to people on the phone for work and stuff, but mostly being stuck at home for the last 4 months, being able to talk to somebody, face to face in a space like this is a nice commodity. And like I said, I'll go ahead and post the link down here again in case anybody wants to hop on and chat as well. And it can be better. So going back to talking about the Tech King Mike and Saturday Night Tech Fight and all those wonderful things, 8 o'clock tomorrow night, I believe, is what it is. I've got it scheduled. Reminder on, yes, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. That's Central Standard Time, so it's 7 o'clock on the East Coast, 9 o'clock on the East Coast, and 6 o'clock on the West Coast, which I think is a good time. Because it's not too late, it's not too early. That's a problem we have with the live stream stuff, because a lot of people on the weekends like to do their own stuff. So you have to find something that is not overlapping with too many people's times, but at the same time, like I normally do my normal one at 7:30 on Wednesday. That's 5:30 on the West Coast. And a lot of people are like, oh, I've got family commitments. I'm having dinner right now. I just got off work. but it's already 8:30 on the East Coast. Whereas like this one tonight, I'm doing it at 9. Well, it's 10 o'clock in New York City right now, or it's 6 o'clock or 6:30 now out on the West Coast. So it's really hard to try and find a good time that works for everybody. So, yeah, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. I really am interested. Let me go check out Tech King Mike's. Let me go check out his Twitter and see if he's got anything on here that would allude to tomorrow night to see what's going on. So I know that so far I'm on the list, and DePoets is also on the list, so that's going to be a good one. But I don't know who's leading off. That's what I want to know. I was watching on Viper's show earlier, and it doesn't seem like Greg's Gadgets is going to be able to make it, which is going to be unfortunate because I was hoping to have another rematch with him. I think that would have been a fun time. So, and he brings a lot of character to it as well. It makes it really fun. Whenever people get into it and they get excited about doing this stuff, it makes it a lot more fun. Like, it's fun already. It's fun. There's two different levels of fun, I think. If you're just a casual observer, if you just like watching the show, it's really exciting. And it's like, it's so much better than watching Netflix or watching a movie. You can do that stuff anytime, but being able to see people in the tech community, going at it, just round after round after round of these questions, it's fun because, one, you're sitting there on the sideline, you're like, no. Or you think from the beginning, like, okay, he's going to go that route. So that doesn't seem like that's the way that I would do it. I mean, you're kind of playing it in your head. It's like watching Jeopardy, and you see them and they buzz in and you're like, oh, I know the answer. And then they get it wrong. And you're like, no, I knew that answer. So it's fun from that perspective. And also getting to see a lot of these people. So, we're all fans of each other in the tech community. The tech community is great. There's so many different people that are out there. And I feel bad because I can't watch everybody's videos all the time. I try to retweet and like stuff as much as possible. But as far as going in and actually watching everything from week to week, some people put out a lot of videos. I put out like 5-6 videos a week. My buddy Greggles TV puts out like 14 videos a week. And then some people do like one a week. So when you're constantly creating and you have your own live streams and doing everything, it's not, you can't always watch everybody's stuff, but it's great when you can show up and there are these big events like the Saturday Night Tech Fight. A lot of people show up to these things. There are a lot of tech YouTubers, a lot of people in the tech community that show up, even if they don't play. And it's cool because you can, like, over here on the side, you do the old sidebar chat thing. You can put some of your own commentary out there. And then if you're really feeling froggy, if you're feeling feisty, if you had a spicy dinner and you're feeling a little antsy, you can hop on there and you can give it a go. And I got to tell you, the first time getting on there, it is a little nervous. I mean, there's a lot of people watching, and you don't want to get up there and get a question and be like, you don't want to get up there and get a bad question and be like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'll just pull something out of my rear end. And it's going to be particularly difficult tomorrow with Juan being on there because you're not going to be able to BS. Like, you can't just be like, oh yeah, the flux capacitor. That's the answer to it. That's not going to fly tomorrow. So you really, really need to be able to know what you're talking about to get those points. But if you really know your tech and you get on there and you can just nail it, even if you can't, I mean, there's kind of a middle ground. There are people that are really good at arguing. I mean, if you were in debate in high school, I mean, you probably have it in your blood. If you like, doing debate stuff, you like arguing with people, then just from the pure competition perspective, it's fun. But then also the other part is trying to beat somebody, trying to win an argument that's tech related. That's what we do. And of course, we have the Don King of Tech Fights down here in the chat now. What's up, everyone? Thank you, Tech King Mike, for showing up. So, like I said, he's the one that put all this together. This was his brainchild. And, starting from the beginning, I don't know if, I don't know how many people queued into it, because the first couple of times that it was on, I didn't really pay too much attention to it. And then, as I kept seeing and hearing more and more about it, it starts to turn into something that you don't want to miss, especially the last couple episodes, the last couple events on the Saturday nights. And now it's like, I've been waiting for like the last 3 weeks for this to get going again because I've been so excited about it. And I'm really excited about tomorrow. And yeah, he's stuck at work right now, which is terrible. So maybe you can tell us, since you're here, Mike, who's going first tomorrow? Like who is the to beat guy? Or is that going to be something that we're going to have to wait and find out for whoever the lucky or unlucky person is that decides to put their name in first? I'm curious because, like the last 2 times, we knew it was going to be Greg's Gadgets. Like he's the one that issued the challenge a couple weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, he went first. And then it was to see if he could do a repeat the following Saturday and went first again. So I'm really curious to see who is going to be the first person there that you have to topple so you can start your run or reign of tech terror on the rest of Saturday Night Tech Fight. And the other cool thing is I'm hoping that as this goes forward, I mean, it's going to evolve. It's going to develop even more. So I've talked to Tech King Mike about it, and he mentioned that this season there's going to be some tag team stuff. And, it's been some talking, and, he told me that he wants me and Dan. So if you watch mine and Dan's live stream we do on Wednesday night, Unhinged Tech, yeah, whenever he and I get going, it can be entertaining. So there's been some requests for he and I to do a tag team duo for one of these weeks. So it's going to be interesting. And all right, so here we go. As of now, it's you and Terrence, aka the Poets, and I think everyone else is nervous. And maybe so. And I know. I only had a short stint in the spotlight because I only won like 1 round last time. But, I'm sure it must be the beard, or maybe it's the Under Armour shirt. People know that I mean business, but I play for keeps. So tomorrow, like I said, for the last couple episodes, there can be only one. And now we have the Bionic Scoop in here. That's Saul. Welcome. Glad y'all are here tonight. And I'll go ahead and post this again in case anybody wants to hop on. But if not, we can keep talking this way. You can talk down there amongst yourselves in the chat. I know it is Friday night and people have things going on. Yeah, fear the beard. And so this is interesting, too, because I live down in Houston. So, of course, we have the Houston Rockets and the James Harden. Fear the beard. Hey, Gary, welcome. And we have one of the judges.
Well, my friend, hello. How are you?
Well, it looks like your internet got judged pretty harshly today.
My internet is still down. It is now at I'm approaching 11 and a half hours.
That is insane in the year 2020 that your power has been out that long.
My power's fine.
I'm sorry, your internet.
Yeah, my power's great. Like my internet is not great. So I'm currently talking to you on a pair of wired iPhone 11 Pro Max headphones plugged in directly to an iPhone 11 Pro Max, and I have a Lytra light right here to where I can look super crispy. But yeah, I really miss my studio, like being down in my studio, because I love my space.
Well, I know that the audio is killing you right now because I know that you are like the man when it comes to caring so much about your audio quality. So I know
my God. Yeah, it's a thing with me. It's like I love I can put out a 720p video quality like YouTube video and be okay with it. But if my audio sounds professional and crispy, I am all for that. Like I know that YouTube is a video platform, but if you have bad audio, it's like an unforgivable sin for me. Like I don't know, maybe I'm the weirdo, but like that for me is like my thing.
I got to tell you, I went through quite a different few setups to try and get everything the way that it is now. And I had a lot of people that were like, hey, it sucks. Hey, it sucks. And every time I would think it was better, someone would be like, oh, it still sucks. I'm like, I'm working on it.
I think you sound great right now. I was like, I don't think you sound bad at all.
The Blue Yeti mic is nice. Actually, I got another person here. The Bionic Scoop. Is it working this
Hey, what's
week,
going
man?
on, fellas?
Scoop.
Hey.
I'm actually in this time. Hey. So I just want to pop in real quick and let everybody know that's in the chat about the Battle Royale format. I had never really gotten involved in the live streaming aspect of anything until Mike had his first one. And nobody was starting. I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm jumping in. I'm going to do this. I'm going to see what happens.
Mhm.
I jumped in. I took out like 4 people. It was
You
fun.
did.
I had a great time. And it kind of opened my eyes to the different side of YouTube. And that's what kind of got me started on my channel. I mean, I've got 1 video so far, but, you know, I'm filming another one right now. But
One
gonna-
video
how
is
are you
more
gonna-
than like the million of people that want to start making one and have no videos.
Mhm. How are you going to
Mhm.
put out a video that you end like Sopranos though?
that was beautiful. Like that was
good.
just me. That was just me being me.
That was good, man. It was good. Like, so, and that's the thing is like, you know, Adam, I know you talked about it before, but like I would have, without Scoop joining in, and maybe that joining in pushed you over to do that. Now I'm watching Scoop's content. By the way, I thought the video was fantastic. Really
Thank you,
well
thank
done. The ending, the Sopranos ending, man.
I had fun with that.
It was good.
You know, and the thing about my content is it had to be me. Like I respect everybody I watch. You know, I follow both of you guys. I subscribe to both your channels. I take in a lot of YouTube content, but there doesn't need to be another Scott Peachy. There doesn't need to be another Tech Odyssey. There needs to be another me, one me, and I'm going to be myself, and I'm always going to be myself. I've got a fun story to tell about everything I do with tech, and I just want to convey that through my videos. If you don't chuckle at least once during my videos, I didn't do my job. So that's kind of my goal. So
No, that was great. I thought it was a great first video. I can't wait to see your next one.
And I've heard from a lot of people, it's like, you know what? A lot of people are like, look, don't try and be somebody else because that person is already there and they have their audience. It's like people, when you start making videos, it's the hardest part because you're trying to get those views, you're trying to compete. But the thing is to build a channel. See, all those people, most of them show up to watch them because they want to watch that person.
Mm-hmm.
That's who they show up to watch. So the thing is you being you is what's going to allow you to build your channel, build your brand, build your content, to where you're going to get people that want to show up to see the Bionic Scoop. If they want to watch MKBHD, they're going to go watch him anyway. But I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, but you're going to get people and you're going to grow your community, and that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm very thankful for Mike's community and this whole community in general. Between everybody here, I mean, it's just been fun to learn. I've just been sitting back and being a sponge. You know, I'm watching Viper's podcast, learning from the guests he has on there. I'm taking notes. I mean, Roberto, Blake, you guys. I mean, I just writing everything down I can and just applying it.
Well, that's
applying it in a way that still conveys the way I want to do it. I mean, yeah, I could take it by the book, but I'm going to end up sounding like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But I can take the concepts, not necessarily the actual content, but the concepts behind the content and apply it to myself. So,
well, and that's really what I've done like in the last several weeks outside of today, not having the internet. But I mean, Adam really, like, I watched his meteoric rise, and I mentioned the very same thing about Travis on Vipe's live show earlier. Was I'm picking up what you guys are doing. So like I've made more content in the last 28 days or 30 days and seen what that's done for my channel. And so it's one of those things, like I used to just do one live show, one video as much as I could. 2019 was a rough year. And so it's just one of those things, just getting back in the swing of things, doing way more content that I normally wouldn't make. And a couple of those videos that I probably wouldn't normally have made, if it weren't for, people like Adam actually inspiring me to do that work, I wouldn't have seen some of those views that I'm seeing on that content because I would have never made it.
Well, yeah. I've had this conversation with a couple of people lately. Now, I am by no means a guru or an expert when it comes to this stuff. I do me, which is interesting at best on most days. But I told someone the other day, because they were starting to get ready to start on their channel, it's like, you can put 20 hours into that video and you may only see 50 views out of it. And if you think that that's worth it, then go for it. But when you're trying to get your channel up off the ground, you got to get people in the doors. If you can't get people in the doors, they're not going to see all the hard work you've done to make the video. That doesn't mean make crap videos, but it means do a good job, do something you feel comfortable with and put it out there so that you can start generating your content wheel to get things going so that you can showcase that stuff and draw people in, because the more videos you have, the more engagement, the more views, the more you're going to build your channel. So don't just make something that's garbage in 5 minutes, but maybe not spend 30 hours on a video, your first couple of videos that you're going to put out there for your channel.
For my first one, the most time I spent was, I downloaded DaVinci for editing, just out of a whim. It was free. I said, why not? I'll try it. I'm one of those people, once I get my hands on something, I'm going to learn it. So I downloaded it on Friday. I played with it on Saturday, had my video edited Sunday and posted.
That's good.
Yeah, so I'm all for taking in information. I'm a sponge at work. I run a warehouse, so I'm constantly on the move, and I'm always thinking about other things while I'm going about. One of those people where the ADHD's kind of helped me out in my career.
So
being wildly random.
A big DaVinci Resolve user is a guy named Michael Tobin. He's actually here in Columbus, Ohio. It goes by on Twitter. He's Initial Focus. The man does incredible videos on the DaVinci Resolve. So if you want to know anything, he's a great dude. Check him out. Just an
Definitely.
awesome guy. Yeah.
So I've got two things here real quick. I want to address this. One, Mike says, Scoop, you should join in on the action tomorrow.
Agreed.
Maybe.
Oh, come on now,
dude,
man.
Okay.
You held your own,
Guys,
man. You
look. Okay, I understand that, and I enjoy the tech fight format, but I've got friends in town, and Vegas is open, so I'm probably going to go down to Fremont and hang out for a little bit. So.
They could watch you.
But hot dogs on Fremont are amazing, so it's like
I've never had you down there.
The food guy in me is like, I haven't had El Buen Pastor or the taqueria that's down there in a while, and I'm just like, Pastor tacos are calling my name, so it's like
I've only ever been to Vegas through the airport.
Well, now you know. If you guys in Vegas, hit me up.
Absolutely.
All right. So next thing, Scott.
Yes.
How did you end up in the judge's seat?
What do you mean? Oh, how did I end up in the judge's seat? Like for this week or just overall?
Just overall.
All right. So so I have been watching Saturday Night Tech Fights for a while. I watched John and LB. So John Prosser and LB, where LB, had him dead to rights. That's probably the Saturday Night Tech Fight that I remember the most. I remember watching Trenton and LB. I've seen LB buried a lot, like a lot. So like I've been around that long to watch probably the second or third time he had been resurrected. And so I decided to throw my name in the ring. And a good friend of mine, Ben, over in the UK, he is just an unbelievable amount of knowledge. He knows everything. Mike always jokes around like he's a walking encyclopedia. The man just knows all the things. The lover of tech, if you follow him on Twitter. So that's Ben. So Ben and I, good friends through Twitter, just a good, healthy, deep respect, nothing but, like I always say, nothing but love. And that's the truth. Him and I went at it. And I remember that first fight. Mike will tell you, I was one of the only ones that I know of, and I don't know if others have done it still. At that time, Mike would give us the questions like the Wednesday before, if it was a one-on-one fight. And so from Wednesday until Saturday, I worked on those questions. Like I went inside and out the questions. I researched, I took notes. I had 5-6 pages of notes, pro and con, kind of anticipating what Ben might think about, trying to respond, what my response would be if he goes one route, if he goes the other route. So like kind of like the student of the game type situation. And he knocked me out one round, and I got back up, and went 5 rounds with him. And I still, to this day, I got jobbed in the 5th. I knocked him out. I knocked him out in that 5th round. He knows I knocked him out. I know that he knows that I knocked him out too. And ever since then, I have been hooked. I told Mike, I was like, look, man, I will, whatever you need. If you need me to be a judge, sign me up. You need me to be a fighter, sign me up. And so that's kind of how it's always been. I mostly just injected myself into that because when you get a taste of Saturday Night Tech Fights, it gets you because it is an adrenaline rush. It is nerves like you've never experienced. When you go one-on-one where you get a 2 or 3 minutes to where you make your points in the beginning and then you go back and forth a whole bunch, it's like you get some space to make your argument. But the best part is like you start to make the argument for the other person and then lure them in. And it's just an overwhelmingly great time. And then the next time after that is we had our first battle royale, and then Kevin the Tech Ninja, he came on. And Kevin and I, we talk probably every day. Him and I are really big into golf. We talk every day. And so he jumped on and then proceeded to murder me. And that's pretty much why I've been in the judge's booth ever since. So I love exactly what Mike's working on. It's just a matter of time before it goes through this exponential rise, because I think what this is super special.
I think so. And I had a similar experience. So I had known before that it was kind of like a one-on-one thing. And I really want to do one of those one day because I think I would have a field day with it.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's super stressful though. Like I took notes during the fight with Ben. And then so like when he was talking, I was taking notes, writing stuff down. And I had like another monitor over here to my side. And then I'd be like, oh, when you said this, but let's talk about this. And then I would dissect his exact argument.
Well, you have to with Ben because he's it's like talking to Google about cameras.
You have to, and you have to be crisp and clean about it because you can go in and BS a few folks, but when you got somebody who has knowledge that can just pull it from like the depths of the back of their head, it's hard to do. Ben is one of those.
I see your point, but
yeah,
I
saw where you were going, but.
I feel like I've got a pretty good depth of knowledge that I can talk about things. But as far as like the whole arguing thing, I mean, I've gone into a courtroom before. It's the same thing. It's very stressful there. I will say that much. But even doing some of this stuff for a living in some circumstances, getting up on a live video feed like this with a bunch of other people in an uncontrolled environment, trying to make your argument about things. I like the idea of the one-on-one because I can prepare, a little bit. I've had some questions, but going in there and it's like, all right, I'm going to put my name on here. I'm going to try and make my mark. And at the same time, it's like, I don't know what the question is going to be.
You have to be well-versed in a lot of stuff in a battle royale with again, the one-on-ones, you get to a point where, happy dancing David Woodland.
What's up, Scott PG?
What's going on, my friend? How are you?
Doing good.
So do y'all guys know David?
No, I have no idea who he is. I don't know that I know everybody's.
Okay. David's a friend of mine, but also he used to be with Palm. Now he's with Facebook. Cool. He's a lover of tech as well. And actually, I do want to run something by him. So, hey, David, have you seen any of this stuff that people have been posting around about the whole Saturday Night Tech Fight thing?
I have.
Have you watched any of the episodes?
I haven't. I've only seen some like serious trash talk in like the pregame.
You need to watch tomorrow because I'd be interested to get a perspective from somebody who's not. I mean, you could even come on there if you want because it's open to anybody.
Yeah,
it's one of those things. Scott, you're going to be a judge tomorrow, right?
I am.
So basically, it's like a head-to-head concept, but we're doing it like battle royale style. So you get people like me or Scott, Bionic, other big tech people, even not big tech people, and it's like you have a question, and the person that's defending gets to pick which side of the argument they want to go for, and then the other person is left with the other side. So they make their argument, and then the judges decide who wins. If they win, they go to the next round.
That's fun. Sounds cool. It's not during the actual fight, though, is it?
That's what?
It's not during the actual fight tomorrow, though, is it?
Oh, is there an actual fight tomorrow?
I didn't know.
I think there's like a UFC fight night tomorrow. But no, I signed me up for the next one. Not tomorrow.
So Tech King Mike, if you've seen him floating around, this is his brainchild. And there's some big name people and also in the tech community. but also the Popcorn World, Mr. Popcorn Man himself, LeBaron Burton, is putting up. He's sponsoring it.
Mhm.
So if you've seen any of his popcorn, or you've seen other people talking about the popcorn on Twitter, the popcorn is legit.
Oh my
Oh,
god! It's the
Speaking of
best.
which, we're going on a trip.
So
Oh my god, the popcorn's amazing.
if you win, you get 60 of these sample bags of popcorn. Not that size. That's not the snack. That's not the
No,
sample.
this is a large bag of cinnamon toast crunch flavored popcorn, and David, it will change your life.
It will.
I believe it.
Dude, yeah, cinnamon toast
will change your
crunch,
life.
Captain Crunch,
Man,
key lime
I've
pie,
killed-
banana pudding.
I've killed like 2 of these Big Tens. Like I am a popcornaholic, and I just put another order in. I probably spent way too much money. So
You're paying for Saturday Night Tech Fights.
Yeah, they're like little sample bags about this size, and whoever wins gets 60 of them.
Uh-huh.
And then also he's paying $1 per viewer that shows up, so there's like some cash incentive. And then if we get more than 700 or 800 viewers, there's gonna,
800.
800. If you get
there's more than
800 in the
800
chat,
live viewers tomorrow, then the winner will get a Sony ZV-1 camera if it happens.
Mhm.
Correct.
Shoot.
So it's going big. Like this is season 2. Before it was just kind of all right, put up or shut up, show up and go head to head with somebody in front of all your peers and have fun. But now with this battle royale concept, getting a lot more people involved, it's kind of getting up there a little bit more.
It's amazing.
it's
Sounds
legit.
cool.
So I think it's going to be something that's going to be. See, it's one thing for tech people to watch, but you're not tech reviewer person, but you've been in the tech world, so you could probably, I think, really enjoy what's going on. I'd be curious to get a perspective, like your perspective, or just somebody else what they think of it, because I think it's entertaining.
Yeah, for sure. I always think it's funny, like when you're forced to get into a position. I don't know. I'm always afraid of like the legal ramifications, just like leaking POV on random things. I guess I have my personal opinion, and then I have like the corporate opinions, and then you got to juggle in everything, how that goes.
Thankfully, a lot of time it's more along the lines of like one of the questions was like, which one was a bigger visionary, Bill Gates or Steve Jobs?
No, that's
like
all.
that,
that's all safe.
Yeah, like
I mean,
that was
funny, like when you're working at a place like, I guess if you're making smartphones, you have to be so careful about like liking Steve Jobs too much or something, right?
Yeah, or like,
good.
Yeah, like which is better, a smartphone camera or a DSLR camera, or it's
not more. It's less controversial stuff and more just more divisive things in the tech community, like Apple. I'm being real general with this: Apple versus Android, or multiple cameras versus machine learning for photos. Like it's stuff like that. It's not necessarily. What do you think about the political ramifications of so and so? And it may be a company you work with, and you'd be like, "No, I can't answer that. I might get fired." Like, I'm on the internet right now.
What David might be leaning towards is like if you're actively working in this sector, talking about developing and manufacturing phones, and then they're like, "What's better, this or that?" And you've got one of them in your phone, or you've got an upcoming device, and it's like, I can't talk about that.
We have
so like if I'm making an Android and you want me to argue on the merits of the iPhone, might be like a short answer from me,
like Android. Like
it's just
we lost them on the live feed.
Like, oh gosh, something cut out. I got to get out of here. Sorry about that. Looks like I lost audio.
Or it just becomes like one big like poster ad where I'm like, "There's nothing good to say."
That happened to Trent a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, there you go.
Trenton got caught with the "How do I argue against science?"
Yeah. So what was that?
Good question.
Which was better, wireless charging or wired charging?
Yeah, warp charging versus wireless charging.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm already into this. Sign me up. I'm ready to duke it out with someone. Popcorn.
Oh, dude, it's amazing. You'll love it. It's absolutely. It's so much fun. So much fun.
If you can name a flavor, LB's probably got it.
Yeah, I posted earlier down in the thing. I was like, here's the link. The website is called Popcorn World. And, I know you got quite a few kiddos too. My kids totally love this popcorn. Like they ate like tons of it all. Like
60 might not be enough. We might need to like double that down to like 120.
Yeah,
it's crazy though. There's like key lime pie flavor. There's Captain Crunch. There's like cinnamon toast. There's like, what was it like?
Key lime pie popcorn?
Oh my god, it's amazing!
Oh wow! Okay,
David, it'll
yeah,
change.
now I'm in.
The
If
peach
it's any doubt,
cobbler
it's over.
will change
Doubt
your
is
mind.
done.
It'll change your life. I'm telling you, it will change your life.
The peanut
Yeah.
butter and strawberry jelly was incredible.
Yep, I had to put. Did you put it in the freezer?
Oh yeah, of course I did. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Mhm. Yeah, it was amazing. Oh my god.
Yeah, my tin was peanut butter and jelly, strawberry, white chocolate peppermint, and sea salted caramel.
Yep. So good.
They all sound good. I don't think there's a single flavor of popcorn that he makes that I'm just like, you know what? I wouldn't eat that.
No, I haven't run into one yet that I've tried where I'm like, that's not for me.
Unless there's like a butterscotch one. I can't do butterscotch anything. But
So
I haven't seen that.
what's funny is there's like Jelly Bellies. Like the worst flavor is always butter popcorn.
mhm.
They need to make a Jelly Belly flavored popcorn.
David, he goes beyond that, man. He's got loaded baked potato with real bacon bits in it.
Yeah. He also is like this crazy mad scientist because on Twitter he was talking to Andrew Edwards about like mixing flavors, and Andrew was like, I didn't even know you can mix flavors. I didn't even know you can mix
He's
flavors.
like a mixologist when it comes to popcorn.
Well, he talks about mixing crab legs to the lobster or the crab legs and the dill pickle. I guess it just completely changes your life. And I was like, I never thought to even put those two together.
I thought that was a joke because I saw Jason over here. He says crab legs will change your life. I'm like,
look, I just ordered an XL bag of crab legs because it's so good. David, it literally tastes like the butter you dip your crab legs in from like a seafood restaurant.
Everybody
crazy.
tells me that. Everybody says the same thing about dill pickle. I ordered dill pickle. It was incredible. Unbelievable.
It's kind of like, like crepes can go dessert or like meal. Like the turkey crepe or like strawberries.
Mm-hmm.
I can see the versatility of popcorn reaching really far there.
David, he's got it broken down to like cheese flavors, savory flavors, sweet flavors, combinations. Like it's you're going to go on the website and get overwhelmed.
Flavors, right?
Yeah, 250, but he doesn't even have them all on the website. He's got over 400 flavors he makes. If you know about them, it's like the secret menu at In-N-Out. If you know about it, you ask for it, you'll get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's not on the website? It's like Cool Ranch Doritos, Takis, like the hot Cheeto, flaming hot Cheeto flavor. He's got some stuff that's not Parmesan bacon is one that's not on the website.
I feel like he needs to give all the for all his advertisement.
He put out his first commercial the other day.
I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But tomorrow is when people have the chance to win it all. And that's the exciting thing. Like I've legitimately been waiting on this for the last 3 weeks. I'm like, come on, I want the tech fights to come back. And I tell you what, but the week in between, and I'm hoping that there'll be more of this once we get into like the second or the third fight of the season. That the last 2 weeks with all the trash talk and all the hype and all the the memes and the gifs and all the trash talk stuff that was going on, it was hilarious and it was
fun. I had heard, and I don't know if you were in Vibe's show last. I don't know if you were in Vibe's show when I said I had heard you tried to call me out and wanted to get me on the show as a competitor. I had heard that. I mean, I wasn't sure like if that is in fact the truth.
Shots fired.
I told Vibe, I was like, Vibe, look, I don't think Adam wants all the smoke. I don't think he wants all this smoke.
It is smoke because there's no substance to it.
My friend, I don't think I always say to Tech King Mike, I was like, I'm like Bruce Banner. What's the key? I'm always angry. Very happy, go lucky, jovial. But when I get in the ring, my friend, savage.
So what's the format here? Is it like a tree? Do you already know your opponents? Do you know your topics?
So for the one-on-ones, a lot of times it's you'll know who you're going against. So like let's say I were to challenge Adam, it would be me and Adam in a match.
Yeah.
Mike would have judges. We would get I don't know if this is still true for the one-on-ones, I'm guessing here, but we would probably get the questions in advance, a couple days in advance, so we could kind of prepare for what those would be. And then when the time comes for the actual fight to take place, we get the first question. One, you choose which side. So let's say I'm making this up, Steve Jobs or Bill Gates is the more revolutionary. I would come out and say, Bill Gates is the bigger revolutionary. And I would argue the points as to why I thought that. Adam would jump in and say, well, no, it's actually Steve Jobs. And here's why. We'd each get like 2 minutes to argue our points individually. And then 3 or 4 minutes, I think it's 3 or 4 minutes, to argue against each other based on kind of what we said there. And then after that, that's one round. And then the judges would pick a winner. So let's say, Adam won. One judge says Adam, one judge says me, and the next judge says Adam. Adam won that round. 2-1 won that round. But let's say that all the judges are like, no, I mean, Peachy just devastated him and knocked him out. 1, 2, 3, then that's a quote unquote knockout. And then so Adam has to answer a question and he gets 1 minute to answer that question. And then the judges have to basically vote him back onto the island, so to speak. Now, again, that was last season, the way that the one-on-ones were working. I don't know if Mike's changed it, but it's probably pretty close to that.
And now the season opener, though, is going to be the Battle Royale.
Yeah, the Battle Royale is so where you come on and it's I don't know who's first. I think it's you and was it DePoet?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so like Adam and DePoet will come on. They'll get a question that they have absolutely no idea what the question actually is. They'll each get 1 minute to argue whatever the side is, pro, con, yes, no, whatever that is on that side. And then a judge like myself will say, I pick, DePoet, or I pick Tech Odyssey, or I pick whomever it might be. And then the winner of that keeps going, stays in the ring effectively until the next person comes in and they just do it again.
So the Battle Royale concept, and when you and I fight, I want to make sure that it's the hour-long one because I want there to be so much footage your ancestors can sit down and watch it for an hour.
Yeah, they'll get a lot. They'll learn exactly how to handle themselves.
I don't want to go up against Adam. I feel like exposed to fraud or something.
It'll be a good time. I've interjected myself into so much stuff. Apparently, I want to fight you, and then Dan wants to fight me, and then I want to fight Greg. I mean, I'll fight anybody.
That's the thing is like it's so much fun, and it's like when I was going against Kev, like there was a lot of like some people would be like, wow, do they legitimately hate each other? Because Kev would take some shots that a lot of people like if kind of on the outside would be like, dang, like that was cold, like, but it's just I didn't take anything personal. It's a heavy mutual respect.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's something else.
Sign me up. I'm in.
It gets a little chippy, but it's fun.
We're competitive.
It is fun, and the questions have gotten better too. They're very much where both sides are kind of arguable. Like it's a little on the sucky side if you get a question where it's like, okay, obviously most people lean towards this one side. So it makes it a little bit harder to be in the defensible position. But if you get a well-balanced question, then it makes it a lot more enjoyable.
And so that's one thing I will say as a judge is where I really take the judging. I'm not saying anybody else doesn't take it seriously, but for me is I have an opinion on the question. Like any human that might, have an opinion on something that interests them is going to have it. I have to remove myself from that opinion and then really listen to the points that are being made. Like I may not agree. There's been a lot of times where I flat out have not agreed at all with the winning argument. Sorry for the police officers behind us, but yeah, the Daisy Street right over there. But there's been lots of times where I straight up don't agree from my opinion perspective of the winning side, but they argued and debated that side so well that to me, that was the better argument. So that's a little bit more art to it.
That's what I mean, especially in the Battle Royale format. It's difficult when you get a question where you feel strongly about it, and then you get the other side that you don't really agree with to argue.
It's rough.
It is rough because you got a minute to gather your thoughts, throw your own cognitive bias out the window, and come up with an intelligent argument against something you can't stand.
You really start to, and you see exactly how strong people are when it comes to debating, because then, like what I've noticed, and I'm very guilty of this too, is when I know I'm probably on a deficit side of an argument, I am going to make sure that I add substantial doubt to the judge's opinions about what the words of the questions mean. Like you're saying, like one of it is like, is is foldables like the next big thing? But like, well, no, technically, I mean, it's not really the next big thing because the foldables are already here. What really is the next big thing is the whatever you feel is the next big thing. And now you're introducing that doubt. Like you're introducing like, you're right. Like when I start to think about what does it mean that the big things are here or what's next, and you start to creep into the mind to try to plant the seed of doubt, you're like, yeah, you're right. Like foldables really are here. So they're not really the next thing, because the next thing might be augmented reality and glasses. And there's like, that's a whole other way for you to argue a side that most people may not even think about.
True story.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna take off. I got some stuff to do, and it's hot, and I gotta do stuff. So
That's fine. I'm getting ready to wrap up here anyway. It's already an hour and 5 minutes. It's been, it goes by so quick. You get on here and you start talking and talking, and it's like, wow, it's already been an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll just ride out to the end then if we're almost done. So,
but yes, so totally, I appreciate all three of y'all hopping on here tonight. This was fun, and like I said earlier. And I talked to some of y'all in the DM. What I wanted to do with this is, I mean, we're talking Tech Night fight stuff, but like last week, I mean, half the conversation was like, what's your favorite beer when you're barbecuing? What are you barbecuing this weekend? What's your favorite hamburger joint? I mean, I like an intermix of some of the things that are going on, but it's cool just to be able to visit and get some FaceTime and talk about stuff, because we all talk all the time, but it's all like, all right, we're talking about this tech thing. We're talking about this tech thing. So it's just a nice, way to get people together and just, visit like we used to.
Is a hot dog a sandwich or a hamburger a sandwich?
I don't know. Maybe we can. Well, that'll be a conversation for next week.
There you go. Well, that was a big one on Vibe Live tonight.
Y'all think about that. Is a hot dog a sandwich, or
a hot dog is a hot dog? It's what it is.
Is a hamburger a sandwich?
So before we head out of here, I will be back again next Friday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hope to have more people back then. And also, Saturday Night Tech Fight is tomorrow, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. If you're interested, go check out the link. I popped the link in here. I'll put it again. Make sure, go here. Make sure you set a reminder, 8 p.m. tomorrow. And, if you're interested in playing, then please go ahead and send a message to Tech King Mike. You can find him on the Twitterverse and let him know that you would like to participate, and you can get your 5 minutes of fame tomorrow. But really looking forward to it. Going to be a lot of excitement. You'll see me there. You'll see Scott Peachy there. I think Bionic's going to be getting some hot dogs down on the strip.
I might be following along, though. I just not be participating. You'll see me in the chat.
And David, thank you very much for coming to hang out tonight. Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah,
Pleasure meeting you, David.
Cool being Joe.
So tomorrow, there can be only one. Be there or be square. We'll see y'all later.
Bye, y'all.
Take care.